Good evening, everyone. I am so loving this new show called Think. So refreshing, so new, so much lighter, so much different. And I love the music, the new music. And allow me to welcome you to my show Think, the second episode of Think. Welcome, welcome wherever you are. viewing, welcome. Let me know where you're viewing from. Thank you for coming to listen to my show Think. Welcome to everybody. And tonight, we're going to talk about sports. And I really and truly am a sports junkie. I'm a sports fanatic. I love sports. And I remember I told y'all that sports and music are two things that will keep children, that will keep young people. And developing sports in our country is not a game. It is not a game. This is serious, serious business. And we in St. Lucia need to understand the importance of sports and how it can add to our GDP. But you know, the thinking of our people, I don't know what is wrong with us. I don't know if it is the small island mentality, because it's like a dog-eat-dog rule trying to do anything in this country. And we should be the force as a nation supporting our athletes. We should be the push behind them in order for them to succeed. Now, you know, everybody is so excited. I know everybody know about the issue Julian Alfred had with the St. Lucia Athletics Association concerning her girls. We'll speak on this, but I am going to take it to a broader spectrum for you to understand. And this is why my show is called Think, for you to think. But before we get into our, to the meat of the matter, let us take a coffee break. Be back. This is our star, Miss Julian Alfred. Now, people, we have to change our behavior. We have to change our culture a little. Because I was like, everybody was all over social media, having a frenzy, having a fit. Oh, Julian Alfred doesn't have her girls. She this, she that. Everybody's having a frenzy. Now, I'm not talking about her family. It is her family right to have a frenzy. But those who don't have an iota or not interested in sports, everybody was going berserk. How many of you have pushed for better to be done for our athletes? It's a knee-jerk reaction from the St. Lucian public. How many of you attend the different associations meets when they have it? St. Lucians like to jump on the bandwagon. How many of you know the rigorous training, or when she needs psychological help, or when she needs this, or when she needs that? When you look at a young lady like Julian Alfred, we're supposed to cherish her. Now, I'm not only talking about her because there are many other athletes that are wonderful, but I'm just talking about her tonight. When you see this young lady, we have to respect her. We have to be there for her. How many times do you think of Miss Alfred? Technically, for a year. Only when she does something good. Well, Julian. No. When you see Miss Alfred Julian on the track, that's the finished product. right? And that's when everybody come and clap, 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 it's your birthday. That is the finished product when this young lady is on the track. You know the expenses she has to deal with her school. She has to deal with rigorous training. She has to deal with so many things. But you know, her track bottom, oh, all of y'all getting an orgasm. Clap, 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 it's her birthday. All of y'all getting an orgasm to talk about this. But it is deeper than that. Sports in St. Lucia. Let me tell you something about these associations. They can make, excuse me, they can make or break you if you are not mentally strong or if you do not have a strong support. We remember the great Laverne Spencer. She went through her dark days. You know, we're saying Laverne is ours at that level. And what support was this young lady really getting? Always an issue, just like Julian. So it's a nasty sporting culture we have in this country, which has to be broken. And I want my St. Lucian people, well, I will try to cause you to think, but look at the Jamaicans. Them Jamaicans don't want to hear nothing about their athletes, you know. The whole of Jamaica sponsoring, supporting them. All Jamaicans, when you see their athletes, no matter what field event, they are there for their athletes. But you know, St. Lucian just jump on the bandwagon. She don't have kids, she don't have this, she don't have that. But you don't really understand sports. Take a page from the Jamaicans. They know everything about their athletes. How many of you know where Julian is going to be in the next, well, it's actually Commonwealth Games is actually finishing on my birthday. And we are showing you the photo of the Commonwealth Games, you know, going to be held. Have you known about it? Have you been speaking about it? But no, clap, 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 clap. Everybody is going insane talking about a kit and talking about she doesn't have her outfit. Now, let me tell you something, my people. When it comes to sports, I too, in St. Lucia, we have a culture in the sporting association. There are cliques. There's a lot of politics. If they don't like you, they try to keep your athlete or your child behind. Now, my children have been involved in swimming from the time of they were at the age of 3, both of my boys. So my boys was in swimming and everything, and what I did all the various courses. I became a certified FINA coach, level, like I have the card, level 2 or whatever, level 3, whatever. And my youngest son, Akeem, was in a club, and I don't really like the vibe of the club. And I find I'm somebody, I will push back very hard. If you don't treat me right, I will push back. And then I realized their behavior and whatever. And then the clubs are so expensive. So I decided to say to the club, it's too expensive. I'm not going to leave Akeem in there. I'm going to train Akeem by myself. You know, when I started to train Akeem, excuse me, guys, you know, I keep telling you about my sinus. You know, when I started to train Akeem by myself, Akeem started to perform better than when he was in a club coached by somebody else. This breed jealousy. They were fine. The association was fine. The swimming association was fine. Soraya can train, his sister can train her child. He can take parts in it. He started to beat people, really beat people in the meets because I was training. It's my child. I seen the wrong strokes, the rubbish he's doing because he's not swimming with everybody. And I used to go in, pay for my lane and whatever. And then people got upset. People caused a row. Oh, you cannot be training him. And you see the thing about it in St. Lucia? Sports is behind because of governments, both administrations. Sports is behind because of both of them. None of them have made me happy in terms of sports. So if it was a public, like the government had owned the sporting facility, the swimming facility, I wouldn't have a problem because the government would say it's for all and then you could pay your dues and train your child. But instead of the swimming association saying, okay, it's fine, but it wasn't their fault. I wouldn't blame them. But the owner of the facility came up with rules and whatever. And people were saying, oh, he cannot swim with his mother alone coaching him. He has to be in a club. Let me tell you, back at that, and he was performing tip top. He was performing better than those that was in the club. And cause row. So let me tell you, it's politics. It's nothing about the athlete. Because if they really had loved the athlete, they would say, okay, his mother is training him, and this child, let me tell you, this child started dropping legs doing so well. They would not say, oh, he has to be in a club for him to participate. He has to be in a club, or he cannot be in a club. Row. Let me tell you, these associations are like the devil. They keep the children back. So he went into a club. So we went to Trinidad for a swim meet. There were certain races he felt that he was not comfortable with. I can't remember the race. He said, Mommy, I don't want to do that. I'm not feeling comfortable. So I said to the coach, he doesn't feel comfortable doing that race, for now. So, but he did so many other races. Can you allow him to sit? So he said, no, he has to do the race. He has to do the race. I said, but the swimmer is saying he doesn't want to do the race. So we tell him he can't do the race. So the race was in the morning, so we came back in the evening for the 50-meter free. You know what this wicked coach did? This is why I'm telling you, people, in those associations and in those clubs, we need people to care for the athletes. I'm a mother, I have an athlete, so I know what it takes to bring a lot out of those athletes, and you have to care for them. So I always look for my money. Where the club was going was too expensive, and anyway, my second homeland is Trinidad, so I found a nice place for us to stay, nice security, everything. Let me tell you, the host was so nice. He said, I packed the fridge for y'all. Y'all can have breakfast, do whatever. When y'all go to the pool, if you want me to come pick you up. A nice host. Fine. So we came back the evening for us to do the 50-meter free. I am seeing the coach, and he's a Canadian coach, a white man. The man removed my son Akim from the event because the child said to him he didn't want to swim that event. So I went up to him and I said, but why did you change the child from that taking out? Oh no, he had to do the race. It's my rules. You see how they are? It is my rules. It's just like when I spoke on Tuesday night, and the principal of St. Mary's College then, Mr. Sion, said, oh, for him, now he's part of one, he's part of us, because he doesn't have, he's covering his head, right? Because he had his plaits on, and he had to wear the tamp in order to be one of them. So it's the same thing. It is about them. Oh, he had to obey my rules. I said, but he told you he didn't want to swim. So you remove him from it. I said, this is not right. So I went to the officials, and I explained to them what happened. And the Trinidadian officials were saying, but why would a coach remove a child from an event just because he didn't want to swim another event? He felt he wasn't ready for it. He removed it. So the Trinidadian officials, what they did, they put him in the race. And Akim caught people in that race in Trinidad. Swam beautifully, got a wonderful time. You know what that wicked coach did? This is why I tell you I am a very vocal person and I do not stand for what is wrong. That wicked coach went and quarreled with the association and demanded that they scrap Akim time from the race, take him out from the race. There are a lot of wicked and evil people in sports, but you know me already. I didn't let that pass. I fight it. I fought it. People, let me tell you something. This is why I am saying, parents, you have to be involved. Now, I saw Julian, mom, her sister, and them writing whatever, but let me tell you, when you have a child in sports in St. Lucia, it is not easy. You have to be like a bulldog. They will do everything. And let me tell you what they do. Your child could have good times to swim or to do whatever, and they will sideline your child to put their friends. It's politics. It's a lot of politics. Now, until then, this is why I'm saying to you, until we have people in those positions that love the sport and love the athletes and have nothing against the athletes, right? Sports will go forward. But in St. Lucia, we do not have coaches, we have PE teachers. How do we expect our athletes to do well when they do not have the creme de la creme? And those they have, the PE teachers, I am not knocking them down because they are PE teachers, right? I am not knocking them down. But they are not qualified to take the children to the next level. And in a bit, I will show you what I am talking about. Excuse me, my people. I will show you about Jamaica Perfect's art of developing sprinters. I'll show it to you in a while. So it takes a lot of resources, finances, and have the proper team in place for our athletes to go forward. So what Julian is going through there is nothing new to me because I know how these associations work. I know how the people within them work. They can be very mean and cruel to the athletes. You understand? They can be very mean and cruel. And being in sport, it is very, very, very costly. Now the Jamaicans, now listen to this video and listen to it attentively, because in St. Lucia, we only know athletes when they shine, but we do not want to invest in them. Take a listen.
Training starts at the crack of dawn in Kingston. An exhausting schedule, but necessary if you want to become an athletics champion. Megan has been training hard for the past 5 years, hoping to compete in her second Olympic Games in Tokyo in 2020.
I wasn't a per se star in high school. I didn't have really brilliant times to carry me. So I looked at places where coaches have taken athletes that aren't brilliant people to brilliance. Look at Bolt. People told him he was too tall to run the 100, but he defied the odds. He didn't listen, and that's what you should do, because the sky's the limit. I mean, not even the sky, the stars.
Megan trains at one of Jamaica's 2 elite track clubs with coach and MVP co-founder Stephen Francis. The club's athletes have won over 80 medals at the Olympics and the World Championships.
The youngsters used to almost exclusively leave the country, go overseas for their education, rely on persons who are not particularly interested in the development of Jamaica.
Jamaica, a Caribbean island of less than 3 million people, is one of the top nations for athletics, producing stars like the world's fastest man, Usain Bolt. To reduce the talent drain to universities in the US, Britain and Canada, UTech University decided 40 years ago to imitate their sports programs and take a more scientific approach to sprinting.
If you do this, right, it's rigid, but if you do this, you can move significantly faster. The high knee action is simply lift your knee as high as you can, extend your foreleg, and so you get the highest possible strides.
With the right infrastructure in place and high-profile successes inspiring a new generation of athletes, Jamaica looks set to continue their global dominance in track and field.
Now you heard what the young lady said. She didn't have the best times in school, but she went to an elite club with this marvelous coach. They told Bolt, Usain Bolt, the fastest man on this earth, they said to him, "You were too tall. You can't run." But this coach took him to the next level. Did you listen to what the young lady said? And she is trying for her second Olympic, which passed, because this is all taped for 2020, from 2020. You heard what she said, and you heard what the coach said. Our athletes were leaving. That means the Jamaican athletes were leaving, going overseas to school on a scholarship. But you know, they have coaches. Their interest was not in the development of Jamaica or the athletes to shine. But then 40 years ago, what did they do? What did they do? They form an academy to take care of their athletes, and look at what they have produced. Look at what they have produced. And this is why I keep saying something is wrong in this country, and I think it is the mentality of our people. Julian or the other athletes who go overseas to represent us are stars. They are stars, and we need to realize that. Why are we only making noise when an issue has started? Why isn't there change? Where is the Ministry of Education and Sports to put structures in place? This is what I want to see for our country. Now, I was watching Winners TV, and there was a gentleman speaking with the other host, and he said the athletes in Jamaica takes sports very seriously. And you know what he said? They take sports seriously because it is the way they can get out of poverty. It is their ticket out of poverty. Now look at our country too. We're not a rich country, we're a poor country. Imagine if the investment, and I keep saying, we need to have, and even if you spend $20 million on facilities, but you are not invested in the human resource of your athletes, what is going to happen to them? They're going to fall by the wayside. And Julian Alfred is actually putting us on the map. And as I said to you, 7 of them will be involved in the Commonwealth Games, which ends on my birthday, August 7th. Now, my people, I am going to show you. Okay, we'll take a coffee break, and then when we come back, I'll show you another video. Now, my people, all what I'm showing you here is from the great mastermind, Akeem Ernest. And somebody from overseas spoke to me last night and said, he ain't got to be in St. Lucia. This is a brain box. What is he doing in St. Lucia? But for now, let him finish his degree, what he's doing, and then, we'll look into stuff. So all what you're seeing here is because of this brain box child. So brilliant, very brilliant child. I'm proud of my child. I'm proud of both of my children immensely. Now, when I did my show on Tuesday, my new show, Think, my first coffee supporter said some wonderful words to me. She said, I'm a phenomenal woman. Thank you, darling. I really appreciate you. I know it's a lady, but I don't know who is this person. I just want to tell you thank you for supporting the show. And as I said, be my fan. It is my show. Be my fan. Support the show. Love the show. We're looking for corporate sponsors to sponsor the show because we're taking the show to the next level. So my people, sports have had a lot of bacchanal, ups and downs, all the ringers since time memorial. So I am going to show you, when I speak to you about my son's situation in swimming, I know I speak for all the sporting field because a lot of drama happens. And I'm going to show you something, Spoil Sports February 2014. So all the drama has been there for decades. Take a listen.
The Pacesetters Club is upset over a decision by the St. Lucia Athletics Association to prevent it from taking part in this year's National Individual Independence Championship organized by the association. The club says it was uncertain as to the reason for the association's decision, but suspects that it may have acted out of revenge due to a decision by the club last year to opt out of one of the sports meets organized by the association.
To date, for the first meet of 2014, the association did send correspondence to the club inviting them to compete at the National Individual Championship, at the Independence Championship. The members were registered, all athletes were registered, and up to yesterday I was in communication with the president, who indicated that the club was all set for participation this morning.
Parents of students in the club have also voiced their displeasure. They say it is disheartening for their children to have turned up after putting much effort into preparing for the event, only to be told that they would not be allowed to participate. The Athletics Association, for its part, declined giving a detailed comment as to what has caused the rift between the two organizations. The association prefers to deal with the matter privately rather than publicizing it over the airwaves.
On this matter, I will reserve comment on this one. We have, this is an internal matter. I believe we will discuss it with the club and let's settle it from there. I don't believe that we should take to the airwaves and discuss the internal problems that exist between the administrators of the track and field with a club, the Pacesetters Club. We have well documented the concerns. We will continue to have that dialogue with them in order to bring this matter to a speedy resolution. So we as an association, that's my take on whatever may have transpired here today. So we will continue to dialogue with the club and seek to find a solution to the problem. But at this time, I will not comment on what has transpired here today.
The authorities are hoping that this matter can be settled sooner rather than later. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas reporting.
So my people, this happened February 2014. Clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, there's a structural problem within the Athletics Association. And this situation remind me of Akim's situation in swimming. You are hurting athletes when you do things like that. And the coach is saying that it may be some revenge taken against the Pacemakers Club. You see what the psychological effect this can have on the athletes. If you have an issue with a club, why are you penalizing or taking revenge on the athletes? We have a structural problem in this country with many of the associations, and the problem is people take things personally. They do not look at things from a professional level, and they do not, lastly, but by no means least, they do not have the best interest of the athletes at heart. They registered, they came to participate, and you're telling them no. It happens because a lot of people in this country, their egos are so big that it's going to destroy athletes. And this is where I need to hear St. Lucians talking now. Excuse me. I am seeing on Facebook people are signing a petition for the passports, which is $250. Everybody wants to sign a petition. But I have not seen, okay, I'm not saying that this is not a good petition. But what I'm saying, I have not seen anybody signing a petition for the accountability of the St. Lucia Athletics Association for what they did. This is not the first time. Because look, I have shown you in here, in 2014, February 2014, what happened with another club. It's like men and women that they do not see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is not having a title of president of the Athletics Association or president of swimming or president of tennis or football or what, all the other sports. It should be about the athletes. At the end of the day, the main goal or the main product of St. Lucia are the athletes. And they don't understand that. They don't understand that. People, I can speak because I've been in sports. I love sports. And tonight we have the big races. I'm back in Kirani James, all the way from Grenada. I love my Grenadians. I say Grenada is still my third home now because it's St. Lucia, Trinidad, and Grenada. Well, Mordier. Look, I forget Martinique. Oh my God, I'm in trouble. But let me tell you, people, I love Kirani James, 6'2". He did a good semi last night. He's going to run tonight at 9:35, I think. And then we have the ladies in the finals. I love sports. Let me tell you, you think, and I watch how the Grenadians, the Barbadians, the Trinidadians, the Bahamians, the Jamaicans, after the Jamaicans, how they celebrate. These people feel a sense of pride, like it is them are the ones on the track and not even the athletes. They own the athletes. Are we owning our athletes? No, we're not. It's only when we see the final product on the track. Oh my God, Julian! Only when we see the final product on the track. That's when we clap and we want to jump and we want to say, oh, she is, or he is ours. No. We have to be the driving force behind those athletes. Why isn't there a petition to say, hold the association accountable? Now, I saw a letter from the association, right? And that letter from the association was very unprofessional, and it clearly depicts what I have been saying here to you tonight. That all they care about is to safeguard their image and don't care about the athlete. Think about it. Would you have an association if you didn't have athletes? You would be nowhere. Most of these executive members in all the associations, all they care about, oh, I can fly. Because, oh my God, they get a lot of perks when they're in those things because they're under the body of international organization. Oh, they get the perks to fly. They get this, they get invited here, there. Another thing people were saying, people, you cannot turn, please leave our athletes. You see our athletes? Leave them out of the political rancor. We don't want them in that. We don't want our athletes in that. Our athletes are important, and we have to do everything within our power to ensure they excel. And not enough has been done for our athletes. Miss Alfred, Julian Alfred, is an exceptional athlete. She is going to do exceptionally well again. Because if you do not have athletes, you do not have an association. But let me tell you, you'll be surprised, my people. The amount of politics that play in sports, it's unbelievable. We need people who are just genuine and to say, okay, we're going to do everything for the athletes. Now, it is a culture, because when I tell you things, I just don't say things. It's a culture. Think. It's a culture we have in our country, right? And we remember in 2021 about March when we had the football team captain, the football fiasco, where the young men did not go to the World Cup. I am going to play for you, football team captain says World Cup, and the rest. You'll see. Take a listen.
The fan favorite sport of football in St. Lucia has kicked up a stir after the announcement that St. Lucia's national football team would not be participating in World Cup qualifiers. Following a players' protest outside the St. Lucia Football Association headquarters on Wednesday, March 24, 2021, President of the SLFA, Lyndon Cooper, sought to clear the air on the withdrawal of the national team.
We have to make policy decisions to improve. Again, what you think you would have done if you was in my place is fine. But we're doing what we think based on an organization to run, not an event.
Despite Cooper's best efforts to smooth over the decision with players and coaches, the captain of the national football team, Zane Pierre, remains incredulous.
Some of us will not have another World Cup qualifiers to play. You understand? And you as the president taking that decision on your own to say that we're not good enough, or that's not your call, because we have shown in previous years that we can compete. So how do you take it on your own to say that this year wouldn't be our year or something like that? That's not your call to make. So we're still looking for answers, and we're not happy. To answer your question, we are not happy, and we are not satisfied with the excuses they gave.
St. Lucia is the first nation out of 211 countries to withdraw from qualifying for the prestigious 2022 World Cup. The International Federation of Football Association, FIFA, did not announce a reason for the withdrawal, stating, quote, "Further details will follow in due course," unquote. According to Pierre, many St. Lucian international footballers were formally contacted by local authorities to participate in the games.
I was in Italy at the time, so I was with my club, and they reached out to foreign players. I got a email from the association themselves saying that congratulations, you have been chosen to represent St. Lucia in the forthcoming World Cup qualifiers that will be held mid-March 2021. So I got an email from them, which was copied, which Mr. Lyndon Cooper and General Secretary was copied in that email sent by Technical Director Sport. You understand? So it was a formal selection. So I was with my club, I was trained or whatever, but what I can tell you is that no local player was contacted.
Now, in the aftermath of the bitter feud, Pierre is on a crusade to ensure a better outcome for future footballers of St. Lucia.
I'd rather be the sheep they will sacrifice to see a change made in St. Lucia's football. Because even the structure, even the president himself said that local football can only take you to VG, but that's where it starts. You understand? That's where it starts. It starts locally. That's where football starts. So you cannot expect from 5 you send a player, but how you supposed to know that player is supposed to go outside and play? So you're not making no sense. St. Lucia is supposed to be the stepping stone for you to go to bigger things, and that was my stepping stone. So take me, Lucia, Titus, take us for example. You understand? That's where we started. So you're supposed to be able to build on your football locally so that you can move forward. When you tell me that you're going to look for all foreign players who's not homegrown, you go to look for them. What message do you send for the younger players growing up in St. Lucia?
St. Lucia's 2019-2020 budget facilitated some $20.6 million towards sporting facilities. The Prime Minister's office has distanced itself from the withdrawal, pointing out that the St. Lucia Football Association is an independent organization. However, Minister with responsibility for youth and sports, Edmund Estefan, has remained mum on the matter. Julian Alfred, HTS News Force.
So you see the bacchanal in those associations, and this is what I am saying to you. In all these associations, we need people that really care for the athletes. And we heard what Pierre said in his interview. He received a letter because these guys are training overseas. They're in their clubs. They're like little stars. So Apparently, the president bypassed them and bypassed the local athletes, footballers, and went look for the international footballers to represent the country. Now, this is not right. You know, people think about it. Think of the psychological pain and who these footballers went through. You know, this is why I will continue to say we need caring people in the sporting structure. The structure is totally wrong. And these guys are like, and I'm going to show you them. Let me see. I'm going to show you these guys. The interview, you know, they went to, not this one. I'm going to play for you. The St. Lucia Football Association under investigation. Take a listen.
iPad but it's by his
Let me tell you, what's going on there with them youths? I played on the national team 20 years ago and we were struggling with that. Same structural problem. Same. And it will continue. It will continue another 20 years if we put the changes in place. 20 years ago I played on a national team and we having the same problems them youths having.
I have enough man. If I say anyone in US, we can pay in EC. All clubs in Ireland getting paid in US. I show you. Yeah. No players have been submitted contracts. I show you. So what do you give? You have to be okay with it. Okay, if you jump high, you're gonna ban you. Yeah. That thing has been going on for years. Decades I'm telling you. President after president. We're coming out there as professionals. We will deal with this thing as professionals. No obscene languages, but we just want to view our opinion. Okay, we want the media, we want the solutions. Yes, we want the public to know what's going on and our separation. We have had enough. Yeah. No disrespect to the executive, nothing so good. But we just want to change.
Well, as you can see, protests going out there outside of the St. Lucia Football Association. Media is there. Players are here.
Too many lives.
The athletes are here.
Yeah.
Well, give thanks for life. Blessed love.
Loving the show. It is so light, refreshing, and so fantastic. You know, all the nice music, all the nice videos. You know, and you heard the last video, and you heard I know Bax Steed. I know him, and Bax I know young person. Bax around my age, or maybe 1 year younger than me. And he said, you know, from the time he's in sports, they have those issues. So it tells me that the structure is wrong. When are we going to start to think and change things around? Let me tell you, when you manage an athlete or you're in an association, this is like a full-time job to make sure your athletes are well, your athletes are okay. No athlete should be worrying about what they're eating tomorrow when they are at the international games, wear their clothes, wear this, wear that. You know, my people. So it is a problem. So this issue with sports, leave our athletes, please, 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 out of this political nonsense. Our athletes do not need this. They need the proper structure and support. This is what our athletes need. And Julian is a fantastic athlete. And I'm going to show you Julian Alfred runs 1080 in one of her races. You know, you have people. Let us stop being selfish, because even, you know, I realize St. Lucians, we like to laugh. You will see 1 million views on laugh, but you will not see 1 million signatures saying to the Athletics Association, the Football Association, the Swimming Association, the Tennis Association, the whatever association, that we need you to do better. You can't treat our athletes like that. But you'll see 1 million views or 1 million signature on foolishness. Take a look at this video.
And a good start and a fast start here at this 100 meters. And just like that, Julian Alfred shows her skills and talents, and then blazing Longhorn speed. Alfred of Texas goes 10.80. Her teammate, Kavana Davis, 11.04. And Mays of Oregon, Jaden, goes 11.12.
I just love that little video, Julian. Akim decided to do a nice thing for her because we appreciate our athletes. Now, look at this young lady. Fantastic run. Fantastic run. It is unfortunate what happened, you know, at the games. But hey, water under the bridge. She's going to go and excel at the Commonwealth Games. And this is what we have to do, support our athletes. This is what we have to do, support them. We have an athlete at that level. And I'm hoping that the Minister of Sports, but then again, what people fail to realize, the Minister of Sports really cannot get involved in those associations. They are governed by an international body. He really can't get involved. But this is why I am saying that we need people who really are interested and who really love the sports, whatever sport they're in, and love the athletes. It's not about you. It is about them. Brilliant athletes. And the thing I want to tell, I want to speak to Julian's mother, Joanna, mother to mother. You have to be mentally strong for your daughter. Because I remember my son was in swimming and all what they were doing, I was mentally strong for him, and he was mentally strong, and he performed exceptionally. And when I heard of your daughter's case, I was speaking to my son, and I said to him, if it was you they did that, I would tell you, if it's in your underwear you have to run like hell. Forget everything, and after you run, we're dealing with them. So be wary of that there are many forces out there in play to psych your daughter out and to psych you all out. So my advice to you as a mother who has been a swim mom and been in that, thank God me out of that, you know, but my advice to you, when situations like that happen, psych your daughter to do well. Say to her, they can give you green figs, skin, or leaves to run like you mad. And when you finish, leave it all out on the track. This is my advice to you as a mother. Tell her if it's the fig vet leaves, you have to run. Forget everything. Because people, excuse me, what you have to realize, the devil is very busy and he's going to use the slightest thing to distract you. He's very busy. So be mindful of that, mommy, and pray as a mother. Pray a lot. Let me tell you, you don't think it easy. There's a lot of high science going on out there, a lot of demonic forces going on out there. So you have to pray for your daughter, anoint your daughter, make her pray before she runs. Let me tell you, do that and you'll see how she'll excel even further. Right? So just be strong for her mentally, right? And she'll be fine. So we are going to show you, tonight they are going to have Shelly Ann and Sharika and Elaine, the 3 Jamaicans, that's my girls, and running tonight in the 200 meter. But when it was the 100 meter, I chose Shelly Ann as the one to win, and she did win, because when I look at her form, when I look at Elaine, I realize something is odd with Elaine, and when I look at Sharika is, in top form. So I knew Shelly Ann would have won that race, so no surprise. But tonight my money is on Sharika Jacko, because she's a long distance runner, and when she reached the second 100, that's when, after she's done the first 100, that's when she really started building her strength and move. So I am calling it, although I'm not too sure for Elaine, because Elaine has been a kind of iffy, but I'm calling 1-2 for Sharika Jackson, and Shelly Ann would come in at second. But and I have to play for you Shelly Ann's race, her 100-meter race. This girl, I don't know, and Shelly Ann has such a wonderful personality, always smiling, always ever so humble. And I watched an interview with Shelly Ann. Shelly Ann was saying, Shelly Ann Fraser Price, that is, she was saying she's a competitor, she likes to compete, she likes to do things, she likes to win, she's a competitor. And it really made me happy. And this is what we have to instill in our athletes, that they are competitors, fight it through in spite of the circumstances. And I wanted to take a look at this video, Shelly.
Watch for Shelly Ann Fraser Price getting out well, and she has done. She's bidding for a 5th world title, and she's going to do it. Shelly Ann Fraser Price from Elaine Thompson-Herah. 5 world titles, 5 over 100 metres. She needed a quick start, she got a quick start, and with it she takes the glory. At last, Elaine Thompson-Herah does get her hands on a World Championship medal, but it's silver, because it's glorious gold once again to Shelly Ann Fraser Price. Absolutely incredible performance.
When Shelly Ann runs, I just cannot believe it. She is so petite. She is so small, but this woman is a bag of power. It's unbelievable how Shelly is so fast. Did you all see that? She is just, and what I love about her, she is so consistent. She is so consistent. When are we in St. Lucia going to get to that level? When are we going to push through the pricks? When are we going to get through that level? We must not only support our athletes when they are on the world stage. We, as I said before, we are a country of laugh, 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 million views, laugh, 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 million things, laugh, 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 but the serious issues. Now, to all the athletes out there, it would be remiss of me if I don't say to you to be very careful. We are dealing, this world has gone mad. We are dealing with monkeypox. We are dealing with COVID. We are dealing with all sorts of ailments. I wouldn't want our athletes to get ill. Now, I know, we had the carnival season, and then, we have 6 cases, could be more, of monkeypox here. But I am not wishing bad on my people, because I know many people went out there in their parties and carnival. It would be remiss of me, or foolish of me, or ignorant of me to wish bad on my fellow St. Lucians to get sick with monkeypox or COVID, because some people, I'm getting the feel from them, they want them to get sick. Somebody getting sick could be your friend. Somebody getting sick could be your husband friend, your wife friend, your girlfriend friend. So we are too small of a country, of a community, to be wishing bad on people. Now, before I leave you tonight, because I want to watch my races. I got to make noise. I'm going to scream. And, you know, I have some sporting partners, Angel. I have Gilda. I have Geraldine. You know, we love our sports. We always talk about it. I'm a sports fanatic. I love it. So, you know, if you go on my personal profile, not on my page, on my personal profile, you'll see me ranting. Say this on my professional page. I try not to post too much there, but when I really want to be me, I go on my own personal page and just write my stuff. So my people, let me just say to you that it has been this thing program is just so nice, relaxing, and my confidants and my supporters wanted me to come out of the political scene and said, so there's so much you can give, you know, and causing us to think, and they're so happy that I have left this political thing and speaking generally on all issues and causing us to think. So the St. Lucia associations, y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee and do right by our athletes. I will see you tomorrow morning at 9. We're going to talk about the lady, excuse me, we might tell all my signers. We're going to be talking about the lady who was whining on the young child. Even if he may be wayward, that's no reason as an adult to be whining on a young boy. So I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Goodbye.